Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Chairman. How are you?
Welcome to our staff meeting of today, the 20th of April. And I ought to turn my mic on. Good morning again. Welcome to the staff meeting of April 20th. So thank you, commissioners, again for being here. What do we got? Hello, Tom.
One item today, sir, we were going to talk about Senate Bill 13, but Lindsay had an emergency, so we'll delay that until she's back in the office. So one item today, Mr. David Harper is on Zoom this morning. David is the director of the Division of Vehicles and Property Valuation for the state of Kansas, and he wanted to address the commission this morning about some driver's license office issues and some other matters. So he is on the TV for us.
Okay, good morning. Welcome. If you're live.
Hi, good morning. This is David Harper.
Hi, David. Welcome.
Everyone hear me okay?
Yep, and welcome to the Sedgwick County Commission staff meeting. David,
Well, thank you, and I appreciate you giving us a few minutes today and letting us speak to you virtually here. Save us going out in the snow this morning, I guess. But hey, didn't have any issues. Really, our goal today and our request was we've had a lot going on with our driver's license operations across the state over the past year and a half, 2 years, and we were just wanting to do a little bit better job communicating with the county leaderships where we have offices located. So we were hoping to just take a few minutes today and update you on what we have going on in our offices here in your county, and also would welcome any questions, feedback you would have too on our operation in your county. But that's the purpose today, just share information with you going on. Hopefully it'll be helpful to you and helpful to the drivers in the Sedgwick County area. So would you prefer I can try to share the handout I have, or if you all have that in front of you, I can just walk through it. Do you have a preference?
Well, we have it in front of us. We can probably just follow along, and that way you.
Okay, very good.
And do you prefer us to ask questions along the way, or would you like to wait till the end? Do you prefer us to ask questions in the middle of your presentation, or would you want to hold on to the end?
You can stop me at any time if
Okay.
if we're on a topic that you'd like to visit on, please just stop and we'll be happy to. And
Okay.
I don't know if anyone's there in person. I think some of our office managers were talking about going there in person, but I don't know if they are or not, or possibly they're listening or joining.
You have two here. You want to introduce yourselves? You can come to the podium and just introduce, so we'll welcome you. And so David will know who's here.
My name is Jennifer Clapper. I'm the office manager for the Wichita Twin Lakes Driver's License Office. And with me today is John Oswald. He's the manager of the Derby Driver's License Office.
Okay, Jennifer, welcome, and John, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so David, you have Jennifer and John here.
Great. Well, thanks Jennifer and John for being there in person, and they'll be available to take any questions you might have as well. So I'll just start walking through our handout. Don't think it'll take too long, but on the page 2, we just list the driver's license offices we have in Sedgwick County now. We have the Derby office, which is managed by John, and he's managed that office for a number of years. We have our, what we call the Wichita Twin Lakes office. That's been our existing office and kind of the hub of the Wichita activity, I would say, on driver's license. And Jennifer took over as manager there last year, and then has done a very nice job on kind of changing our image of that office and the operation. So we're very pleased with that. And did want to make sure and draw attention to now that last July we added a third office in your county. It's a challenging time opening up a new office, and opening up one during the middle of COVID is even more challenging, but we got it. And it was, in my opinion, long overdue. Just the numbers of transactions we had in Sedgwick County definitely warranted this other office. So we're very pleased now that we have what we call the Wichita West office, and that's managed by a gentleman named Brian Whalen. That opened on July 13th, and typically we do an open house and invite the commissioners and others out to walk through, but means we were in the middle of COVID, we did not do that on this one, but we'd encourage you, if you ever have the chance, to go visit that office. We're excited about it, and one of the features we added there that we're also enthused about is we put in a training lab. So we have a computer training lab now that we can not only train our staff, but we can also hold classes down there to train county staff and area staff so they don't always have to travel to Topeka. So we're already utilizing that for vehicle staff training as well, property evaluations, doing some courses there. So it's up and going. So I'd encourage you to stop in that office if you ever get the chance. On page 3, just did want to mention, we get a lot of questions about how we handle the incoming traffic in our offices. And right now we're set up to what we call appointments preferred. So we ask customers to go online. They can pick what service they want and then pick which office they want and schedule a time. So we started doing this prior to COVID in our larger offices. When we got into the struggles with COVID and shutdowns, this has really been a savior for us. It allowed us to control the amount of traffic in the office at one time, and it's been a good service, I think, for our customers as well as it's much more efficient for our operation. So for a while we did go appointment only, but we are back now to appointment preferred. And I looked on our schedule for all 3 Sedgwick County offices this morning, and they all have numerous appointments throughout this week. So hopefully this is a better way for drivers. They can pick the time, come in and at their selected time, and not just get a number and get in line and hope they're served quickly. So it's worked well for us, and I think Jennifer and John there will attest to the fact that it's allowed for much more efficient operation. So we do encourage people to go online and do the appointments. On page 4, I just wanted to share with you our customer transactions per office. And the first column there is average customer time in the office. And our goal, since we went to appointments, our goal is to get people in and out for a standard renewal in 20 minutes or less. And you can see the Derby, Twin Lakes, and Wichita West are all meeting that. Derby, if they're serving people within 9 minutes, most of that is processing time. So people are coming in, they're not sitting for very long before they're called up and being waited on. So that's a target of ours, less than 20 minutes, and we're very happy that we're meeting that. Now, I also just wanted to show you the number of transactions per office. Twin Lakes has been one of the busiest offices in the state for years. As of right now, they have done more transactions in 2021 than any other driver's license office in the state. We have 38 offices across the state. They do just over 8% of the total transactions statewide. And the chart below just shows the number of transactions per week. So part of our goal today was just to get the word out about the other offices, specifically Wichita West, because they're geared up. They have a similar number of staff as Twin Lakes, and we encourage people to start utilizing Wichita West. We're going to try to get the word out again and remind people. It was, again, we opened right in July, right when things were shutting down due to COVID, so maybe people are just not aware of that office yet, but most definitely they can handle more transactions and take some of the load off Twin Lakes and help them with their numbers as well. Just for your information, Twin Lakes, that's also the center for our commercial driver's license operations. So our statewide CDL managers located in Wichita West as well, or at Twin Lakes as well. So just wanted to share with you what kind of volume we're doing of primarily Sedgwick County drivers. On page 5, I also want to highlight for you what we're calling our mobile operation. And this was a few months before COVID, we hired a staff. It's 4 people right now, but they have what we call mobile driver's license units where they can go up and set up at sites outside our offices. And this was intended for several reasons. One was just to be out and about and more visible and offer services outside our normal operation for drivers, where typically these are set up to do driver's license renewals. And you might remember about 2 years ago, we actually rented a space or used a space from you at your extension center and did 2 days of driver's license renewal. One day we dedicated solely to Sedgwick County employees, kind of a payback for the location, being able to use that. And then the second day it was open to public, and we did 147 renewals at that location within that 2-day period. And this is something now that things are loosening up a bit. We'll be looking to do more events like this, and we'd be happy to work with anyone in your county if you think there'd be a location or an event that we could take these mobile units up and set up at and process customers there. Another program that got paused somewhat, but's back going now, is we've actually taken these mobile units to the facility there in Sedgwick County for the SCORE program and offered credentials for those residents before they leave. So when they walk out of there, they actually have a state ID or state driver's license that they qualify, which proves a big help to them as they're working back in the normal society. And then the other events that's proved very successful is across the state. We've gone around to the major universities and now gone to other schools across the state. But we do have set up at Wichita State April 19th at one day where we're doing renewals, and that filled up very quickly. So we have 27 appointments right there on campus where the students can go from anywhere in the state. You don't have to renew in the county where you hold your driver's license. You can renew anywhere at any office in the state. So we'll probably be looking to do another event there at the university just due to the popularity of that. And then I also want to make you aware that we've partnered with AAA, where we have 2 AAA offices in the state now. One's in Lawrence, and then one's your West Wichita retail store, where we're actually taking those mobile units and doing renewals out of those offices. So we're doing Tuesday only in Wichita at AAA. I picked at that schedule this morning. There's still times available for customers, for drivers. If that's a more convenient location for them, we'd encourage them to schedule an appointment and take advantage of that service there. They can do the exact same renewal services as they can do at a regular office. I should have put on there the website for that. If someone would just go to our cador.ks.gov website and type in AAA in the search box, it's going to take you to where you can set an appointment. So that's another partnership that we're kind of excited about and unique for the Wichita area. And I also want just to make you aware and make aware of the drivers in the state, the online services we've set up. So we'd encourage all drivers, if they can, if they qualify, to take advantage of online renewals. We had legislation this year to modify the restrictions on that. So with new law, anyone from the age of 21 to 64 who's had a successful vision exam and in the past 12 months can go online and renew their driver's license. You've been able to do that for vehicle registrations for quite some time, but now you can also renew your driver's license online. And then we have a couple things we just rolled out here recently that's fairly unique for Kansas, really. For some of the young drivers, instead of getting the handbook and study for their test, we've actually put an example study test, a skills test on the Alexa app. So if you go in and just take Kansas driver's test, speak that to the Alexa, it'll pop up an exam, and they can work through multiple practice exams before they come in do the test. And it's been very popular, especially with the younger drivers. And we actually have that in English and Spanish now. I think we were the first state to go out with it in Spanish. So it's been a popular service. And then 2 weeks ago, we also rolled out where someone can go from their computer, home computer, work computer, as long as they have a camera, and actually take the skills exam, the written exam that you used to have to do in the office. So the Alexa test would be good practice for them then to go online and take that exam. And since we rolled that out 2 weeks ago, we were averaging about 20 people a day. They're taking advantage of that, and the feedback we're getting is popular. People seem a little bit more relaxed at home, taking the exam from there. So another service we would encourage people to take advantage of. And then also, main thing on page 7, I did want to remind you, and in case you're getting questions, some key dates. There was legislation this year, as you know, during COVID, we were shut down for a time, and the governor offered several executive orders extending the renewal date for driver's license, which expired since last March, and we actually added that to statute this year as well. So just a reminder for anyone who's had a driver's license expire since March 12th of last year, that expires up to June 30th this year, they have till June 30th to get that renewed. And in Sedgwick, I checked last week, and we have 13,199 drivers in Sedgwick County who will need to possibly renew before June 30th. we're sending out postcards. First batch should have gone out last week just to those people with expired licenses, reminding them of that. But want to do all we can to make sure no one's driving after June 30th on the expired licenses. And then just also, we're somewhat concerned. There's about 50,000 across the state. So we're wanting those people to get in earlier than later. And some of our mobile services, if our offices, if we do start getting quite a demand for this, we'll probably be looking to set those mobile offices up in the urban areas and help some of those people renew. But we'll be keeping an eye on that. And then the other date I just wanted to mention to you, there's been a lot of confusion and on the Real ID. So I don't know if you all now have the driver's license with the gold star in the upper right-hand corner. If you do not, and you're planning on flying and using your driver's license for ID after October of 2021, you will need to obtain that. So it was originally scheduled to go live October 2020, and they Homeland Security extended that for another year. So you do not have to get it. Kansas is an optional state. But if you're wanting to use it for identification to enter a federal facility or for air travel, you need to have the Real ID with the gold star in the upper right-hand corner. I just put some stats there for Kansas. I think we've done a good job in processing those. Now, just under 60% of our drivers have the Real ID. Just under 80% have had the opportunity to get the Real ID and either obtained it or declined. So for Kansas, we're not expecting a big rush. Some of our other states, Oklahoma just rolled it out last year and going to have challenges, but we feel good about that. But just want to make everyone aware of that we can. Then last page was just simply wanted to give you guys some contacts for us here in Topeka. If there's everything we can help you out with, or if you have concerns or you hear concerns from some of your drivers in your county and they need to talk to us, just providing our contact information. So that's just a very, very quick overview on what we have. And again, Jennifer and John are there. Any of us would be happy to take questions, or if you have any concerns, comments, suggestions on our operation in your county, we'd love to hear them.
Well, David, thanks for the information. It's kind of impressive that Twin Lakes is your number 1, 6, and 8 in this, and that is in this entire state. Is that right?
By the number of transactions right now, they've done more this year than any other office. It's usually right between them and the Mission office in Johnson County as 1, 2 in the state, but they're number 1.
All right. Just got a quick question, then you've got another question from the commissioner. Do you send out, I was reminded during your deal to check when mine expires. Is there an advance notice mailed out when your license?
There is. Right now you get a little yellow postcard.
Or something? Okay.
Reminding you of that. We actually went to the legislature this year and asked for permission. The current statute required it to be a mailed postcard. We've changed that to where we can now do electronic notification as well. So if people provide us their email or a mobile number where we can text, that'll give us more flexibility in sending friendly reminders that your expiration is coming due.
And my observation is the background pictures on the licenses, you have a tractor and a covered wagon and some buffaloes and some buildings. So you kind of got Kansas all over just the face of the driver's license. So, and you have air on the back, aviation. So covered it all. Okay, Commissioner Dennis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't really have any questions, just a couple comments. It wasn't too many months ago, or actually years ago, that really the only place that we could go was over at Twin Lakes, and it was a hassle, honestly. So a lot of people from Sedgwick County were going over to Butler County and Harvard County and Kingman County. I know my wife went over to Kingman County one time because it was quicker to drive over to Kingman County than it was to go to Twin Lakes. That's changed, and I want to congratulate you all. Both my wife and I recently got the Real ID over at Twin Lakes, and it was a very easy process to get through to get in, to get the Real ID. And then I needed a different kind of license. I went over to the West Wichita facility here recently, and I was in and out in just minutes. So I want to congratulate you on what you're doing. The other thing I appreciate is that you're able to put that you're a veteran on your driver's license, and that's something that I had added the last time I was in getting my new driver's license. So thanks for what you've done, because it has definitely been an improvement. I hated that we were actually going out of county in order to get the services, and we don't really have to do that anymore because of the changes and the addition of the additional locations. So I just want to congratulate you. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Commissioner Howell.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you for the presentation, and just a couple of questions here. So I'm not familiar with the Get in Line application. I assume that's just an online application, very much similar to the QLIS system we're maybe more familiar with. We use that at our tag offices here. Can you please talk about the Get in Line application? Is there any differences to that, or how does that work?
Yes, I think it is different than your system, and maybe Jennifer or John, if you want to add in, if you're still at the podium. But our big change, you used to get in line online to where you would get an estimated wait time, and it really just, be honest with you, I didn't see the benefits for our operation for the number of transactions we had. You still had to come in, and we're still uncertain of how long your wait time would be. The system now, you go in, and there's a drop-down box where you selected the office, the service, the office, the date, and a specific time that you want your appointment for. So you're actually scheduling an appointment. You're not just virtually getting a ticket or getting in line. You're scheduling a time to come in and be serviced.
That is correct. The biggest difference is in our old system, when you would text in, a lot of times folks that were in the office waiting would be pushed further back because we would have anywhere from 5 to 10 folks saying, I need more time to come in. So this allows you to get in and out a lot quicker, a lot easier, and you have a required time to be there, although we would take your appointment at any time that day. So it works out better for the customer, really, because they know when they can be there. They know that they will be seen within 5 to 10 minutes typically of that time.
So if someone wants to just come into the office under the COVID rules, are you guys just allowing people to do walk-in at this point?
Yes, we are. However, for Twin Lakes, like Director Harper has said, we are the busiest office in the state of Kansas. So at times we have too many folks in there. And at that time, we would direct those walk-ins to Derby or Wichita West.
Very good. Thank you for that. And then I have, I guess, one other question, and that's regarding the suspended licenses. If someone has a suspended license, what does your office have to do in that case? How do you manage a suspended license?
So Wichita, Twin Lakes, as well as Wichita West, is one of the few offices in the state, and this is something that we're trying to change over time, but we are 2 of the offices in the state where you can actually go in and speak to a representative, a live representative, instead of having to call in and wait on hold.
Okay, do you actually physically remove the license from that person and take it away from them?
If they're suspended, no, sir.
Okay.
No. Law enforcement might do that if they're to be pulled over and they're suspended. What we do in our office is we educate the public on what they have to do to obtain that valid status, and then we help them turn that documentation in there in the office and process it same day, same time.
I do know that the legislature did pass some suspended license legislation this year. Is that going to impact how you operate your offices?
I think that there might be some policy changes internally, but Director Harper would have to speak on that specifically.
And then finally, do you guys keep statistics that are available to people like us, commissioners, that might be interested in this? But how many suspended licenses are in each county, especially we're interested in Sedgwick County?
That would be another question for Director Harper, simply because we are the driver's license department, but there is another department called Driver Services, and they deal with suspended licenses exclusively.
Okay. Well, that would be something I would like to get updated on as we, I guess, before we see the implementation of this new law, and then going forward to see how that number changes. I think we need to track that. So I would like to I guess, get an updated number for Sedgwick County where we are currently, and maybe in a year from now, maybe I'll make an appointment with myself to check on this again and see how we're doing at that point.
We do maintain that, and we work with the legislators on that bill. We actually had our own bill, and then there was, I think, 3 different bills that basically did the same thing. But we do have that for Sedgwick County now, and we plan to continue to track that. So I'd be happy to forward that on to the commission. If you're interested in the number of suspended licenses for your county, is that correct?
Yeah, so for just, I guess, a request I would have for you today, in that if you would give us kind of a snapshot where we are. Now the legislature basically has pushed that bill out. I'd like to get a baseline, find out where we are today in terms of suspended licenses in Sedgwick County today. And then I'll make an appointment with myself, and I'll contact you in about a year from now to find out how we're doing a year from now to see how that number's changed. And I just think that would be
Absolutely, we can
good for us to
provide
know
that.
that. So if you get a number for us, that'd be great.
We will.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay. I don't see any other questions. Any others? I don't see any. So, David, thanks again for taking time and explaining and your counterparts to come and be here for questions. So thank you very much. Very helpful.
All right.
And
Thanks for your time, and
Will we
please
share?
reach out if we can ever.
Do we have
Ever
anything?
help.
Yeah,
Thank
do we
you.
have anything we want to share on our website that would be helpful for you all? I mean, a link to something.
I think we'll put out the applicable web addresses that he put out today on our website to market
Okay.
it as well.
Yep. All right. We'll help promote that. Thank you. All right. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
All right. Next
That's all
up.
we have, sir.
That's it? Okay. Well, we will adjourn this, and everybody have a great day, and we will see everybody tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Thank you.